Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today in learning more about Chandni's story. I am Sanskriti. I used to work as a management consultant, but like many people who work in the travel space, I left my corporate job and I was wanting to explore my passions. But this was just before COVID hit, so I had to delay a couple of things. But I am just freelancing a bit right now, and I love traveling. I love yatris. I love everything about JY, and I love listening people's stories. So really excited here to speak to Chandni and get to know her a bit more. Firstly, thank you so much for joining us, Chandni. I know you've been having difficult times as well, so we really appreciate you taking out the time to come and talk to us about your story. So, may I start by asking you to tell us, for the people who don't know you, what is it that you do?
Hi guys, can you hear me, Sanskriti?
Yes, we can hear you really
Okay,
well.
okay. So I run a transforming travels where we organize group tours in a very offbeat fashion.
Oh, that's really interesting. Could you tell us a bit more about, when you say offbeat fashion, what exactly do you
Mhm.
mean? Is it
Okay,
seamless tours?
so I'll actually divide this into two parts. So one, I'll say we organize trips to offbeat destinations. And then I'll say some of the trips we organize to mainstream destinations as well, but we do them in our offbeat style. When I talk about offbeat destinations, for example, we do a lot of trips to the villages of Uttarakhand. And then we do trips to the very offbeat regions of Rajasthan, such as Bundi and Shekhawati. And then when we coming down to south, like we recently did our trip to Chettinad, which is a very offbeat region of Tamil Nadu. And whenever we also go to a mainstream destination, for example, when we talk about Ladakh, Ladakh used to be an offbeat destination a couple of years ago, but now it's a mainstream destination. So we inculcate such experiences in our trips that enable people to experience the destination in a very offbeat fashion. For example, we organize a day outing at Sekmol. Sekmol, most of the people know it as Phungsuk Wangdu School from Three Idiots. So we don't take people to that shooting point. We actually take people to the school where they interact with students. Like in one of the visits, we taught them English. So that's how. And when I talk about another offbeat destination, for example, Spiti Valley, some people will say it's a very offbeat destination. Some people call it a mainstream. I'll call it mainstream because now we see a lot of people flying to Spiti Valley. So in Spiti Valley, in the entire week-long trip, we offer 2 night stay in such remote villages, which in fact we call some of the highest villages of Asia, where there is no network, and people stay in village homes and they experience their real rustic life without, any fancy, any stage authenticity for the tourists. So that means the offbeat fashion that even when we are going to mainstream place, we find offbeat elements and engage with them.
That sounds really interesting. So it's about like just exploration, right? And irrespective of the city that you're going, so you, from what I understood here, like you basically have a manner of travel instead of just a destination. So you follow that particular manner, irrespective of whether you're going to an offbeat or a mainstream destination,
Mhm.
just to get people to just understand and the vibe or the feel of the city and the local communities better.
Yes.
So that's so interesting, especially considering that you come from an engineering background and you worked with a corporate firm for some time. So how did this shift happen? What drove you, or what inspired you to start something in this space?
Okay, so that's actually a very long story, but I'll try to tell this in brief. So, like you said, that I did engineering, and then I worked in corporate for 2 years. And I'm originally from Haryana, so I come from a background, a very conservative family. So I had never traveled alone. In fact, when I was studying in Noida, my hometown is Kurukshetra. So even when I had to go from Noida to Kurukshetra, my hometown, my father will come to pick me up, in fact at least for first 3 years. So that's how it was working. And now I always had a thing that I have to travel, ghumna hai, but kaise ghume. Indian society is pretty much protective for girls. So during my college time, I started finding international conferences. So motive was that, I'll find these conferences, I'll attend them, and they will be an add-on on my resume. So karte karte, I found about a voyage semester at sea. In fact, one of the people, Ashish, is there. I always thank Ashish that he recommended to go for semester at sea. So when I was working, I found about semester at sea, and you won't believe I spent an entire working day in just going through the website of semester at sea. So first, I'll tell you what exactly semester at sea. Semester at sea is a multiple country study program where you sail on a ship. So when you are sailing from one country to another, you are taking classes, and when the ship is docked, you just go out and explore. So when I found about it, I was like, ऐसा भी कुछ exist करता है. Like it sounded very dreamy to me. So and then I decided, okay, whatever happens, I'm going to make semester it be happen. Then वो rush होता है ना, that once in a lifetime opportunity and all that, बस एक बार कर लो, जिंदगी ना मिलेगी दोबारा type of feeling. So I did semester at sea. Now it's altogether different story how I made semester at sea happen, because it wasn't easy for me to arrange funds and visas, especially being an Indian student. But then I had to leave my job to go for semester at sea because it was a 3 months long affair. And my organization wasn't willing to give me a sabbatical or a guarantee that, I can come back and rejoin my job. So I left my job for semester at sea. And definitely the plan was that I'll come back to India after semester at sea and find a corporate job. बस वो है कि एक experience करके आना है. But when I experienced semester at sea, it changed me so much. Again, that's altogether a different story how it changed me, but then it changed me so much that after coming back, I didn't have the courage to find a corporate job. And I experimented with a few things. Travel bug has definitely bitten me, and then I end up starting transforming travels.
Wow, that's such a beautiful and inspiring story. And honestly, like, I know you talk about not having traveled from a young age, but you also sound like someone who's very driven and someone who's aligned with their motivations. Because, like you said, ki zindagi na milegi dobara, I wanted to make some see happen, so I did it. And I also recall that you got into Kurukshetra University, which, like, when it comes to engineering, is actually better
NIT,
than
yeah.
where you went to in Noida, but you still like your priority at that point was like to explore karna hai aur, and you went to a
Mm-hmm.
different city versus like choosing a better university in your hometown. So
Mm-hmm.
like all of it's such a young age, right? Like these decisions take courage. It's not really easy for someone to prioritize their
Mm-hmm.
passion at such a young age. So I also want to ask you, like, what is it that drives you? Like, what is it that makes you tick?
Okay. So, when I chose not to get it, so just to correct you, it was not Kurukshetra University, it was NIT, National Institute of
Uh,
Technology. And these definitely, they're pretty reputed institutions. But so to be honest, I don't know, that was 2007 when I took that decision. But the idea was to get some exposure, get out of my shell, and get that experience. So us time pe, I mean, definitely I wanted to travel, but it was not like I'm very passionate for travel. I didn't even understand travel very well at that time. But the idea was to step out of my comfort zone from the care of my parents and go out and experience the world, meet new people, make new friends, and have that freedom which you can't have in a small town. So that was the only idea at that time.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
amazing. So you made that happen, and then to ask you a follow-up question on your journey. So you said you went to semester at sea, then you decided you didn't want to take up a corporate job again as you'd initially planned, and
Mhm.
you decided to start something in the travel space instead. So even though I
Yeah.
know you said it in one sentence, I know it's not as easy as that, right? To like just give up your original plan and conceptualize and
Hmm.
then execute something. So if like I would also love to know a bit more about what was some challenges that you faced while starting out, or what is it that actually like, once you conceptualized your idea, what is it that
Hmm.
drove you or even helped you execute it?
Okay. Uh, so first of all, I didn't have any academic degree in tourism. I didn't have any experience, any internship, or any job that I had done in a travel industry. So, that blank thing, where to start from, how to do the thing, how to make it happen. I mean, everything felt like a blank paper. वो कभी कभी आज भी feel होता है, but that time the paper was huge. Now it keeps becoming small. So that was the main challenge. पता नहीं था कि क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना. And I just had an idea in my mind. There was something that was driving me. I wanted people to experience the real India. I wanted people to experience the villages of India, to experience the rich communities of India. सिर्फ एक एम था, बट ये नहीं पता था क्या कैसे करना है. So these were definitely huge challenges. For example, first, सबसे पहले दिमाग में क्या आता है, अगर आपने अपना आइडिया चलो conceptualize भी कर लिया, that I want people to experience this. The second thing is, okay, website.
Yes.
So, I mean, you won't believe, for the first year of operations, we didn't even have a website. तो पहले मुझे लगता था यार, मतलब इंडिया इज सो रिच इन टेक, यू कैन फाइंड वेब डेवलपर्स सो इजीली, वी फाउंड वेब डेवलपर्स सो इजीली, बट देन पीपल वोंट डिलीवर टू यू. So I mean, that was again the biggest challenge. And then packaging, like, you are a traveler by heart, कि क्या आपको experience करना है क्या नहीं, but when you're offering it as a service without any professional experience, then it becomes a challenge. So that was again a different story, that how I learned it. And then the biggest challenge was to spread a word around. Okay, now you have started a travel company, you have put up online your website and everything is up, but you won't start getting customers easily.
Yes.
So there was challenges in every segment. Even now they come up, but it's just you have some experience. Now you have a network where you can seek guidance, and so it goes on.
Wow. That I know, especially like in the tourism space, right? And coming from a completely different background, I can imagine how hard it must have been for you. So to pick
Hmm.
up the one challenge that you talked about, which is to get your first set of customers, since tourism
Okay.
is a like it's a trust driven industry, right? And trust is driven
Yeah.
by online reviews. So how do you get
Mhm.
that first set of customers to get your venture going?
Okay. So I think, just to correct you, not just in tourism, I think it's in every service industry that trust is important. But like,
Correct.
coming to me, for when we announced our first trip, so the goal was to just get 10 people, not more than that. 10 logon ka plan tha. And how I got those people, I definitely screamed out on my Facebook every day, putting up status, putting up in groups jahan ki bhi main part thi, and then talking to people one on one. So every day I spent, calling out people and telling them, hey, I have started this travel company and we are organizing this trip, and I would, if you're interested, we would like you to join. And then put it up on various travel portals. So जो पहले 10 लोग आए थे उसमें I remember, two people were from my college, two people were college seniors, two were ex-colleagues. And so it was basically 50% were the people who knew me, and four or five people, like approximately 50% people, came through online travel portals. But definitely, I assume, I think it's not just tough for me, it must be tough for them as well, to just trust a random stranger who just appeared and offering a trip. So we had the long phone calls. They asked a lot of questions, acha kaise hai, kya hai, who are you, and all that stuff. And that's how the first trip happened. So it's not like after first trip it became easy. The challenge came, it kept coming in. Then after a while I restructured a bit. So the one of the incidents where it came to my mind कि हाँ online reviews होने चाहिए, trust issue होता है. To be honest, जब हमने पहला ट्रिप किया तब सोचा ही नहीं था there could be such trust issues as well. You learn that with the experience. So I remember, there's a participant who joined our trips. Now he's like a friend only. He joins our trips from Mumbai. So he told me, most of the companies who are based out of Gurgaon or Ghaziabad. So earlier we were based out of Gurgaon, still have operations around north. So then that person told me कि जैसे मुंबई वाले, उनको लगता है कि गुड़गांव और गाजियाबाद के जो मैक्स बिजनेस है, they are scams. So he suggested, why don't you add a reviews tab in your Facebook page? I was like, yeah, that's a really good idea. Definitely, trust is a thing. It's not easy to do an online transaction. So we started with that. And then I remember we were doing a trip. So there was a gentleman, he wanted to come from Pune, and he was very attracted with everything. And he just asked me one question, Chandni, Since I don't know you personally and you don't have a TripAdvisor page, what if I pay you and when I come to Delhi, you don't even pick up my phone and I'm just stranded? I was like, yeah, that's a very valid question. So, just to prove that, I'm a real person, I had to send him a lot of links. I sent him my LinkedIn, I sent him my Facebook profile, and wherever I got covered here and there in media. So then he recommended me to set up a TripAdvisor page, and immediately I did the formalities and then set up a TripAdvisor page. So now still we get questions from the people that how do I trust you because scams and everything is very common. So I'll tell them I definitely understand your concern. You go to TripAdvisor, you look up there, you go to our FB reviews, you look up there, you Google about us, and उसके बाद भी अगर कोई concern हो, feel free to come and meet me personally.
Right, that's so interesting. तो मेरा यहाँ पे टेकअवे ये है कि like you should like you leverage the power of community, right? Like एक जो तुम्हारी खुद
Yeah.
की community थी, like through online and social media by shouting out
Mm-hmm.
to them, and also
Yeah.
the community, like people who were coming to you, like you spend time to build relationships with them, people who were expressing interest in your company, and you were open to feedbacks. You took feedback from like even your customers or even people who came to travel with you. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how you build, like by listening to people basically and leveraging the communities, how
Yeah. Yeah.
like you would build trust to start with. That's very interesting. And
Mm-hmm.
talking about like all the people, talking about people that you meet in this exciting journey, so I
Mm-hmm.
would also love to know ki, what has been some of your best travel experiences with like with like in community or even individually on a personal level, like what has been some of your best travel experiences?
Okay. That will take me bit of time to think, but I'll just start anyways. So I'll just, share a few moments actually instead of experiences. For example, there's a lady, she comes a lot on our trips. And when lockdown happened, she used to message me every week that, I'm missing your trips, this and that. And even 3 4 days ago, she messaged me, I have traveled a lot, but तुम्हारे trips में बहुत ज़्यादा miss करती हूँ, and I kind of feel personal connection with you. So these are the moments which make my work very special for me. And then talking about the travel moments, so I think all the trips that I have ever taken to Indian villages, especially the villages of Uttarakhand and Rajasthan, they are pretty special for me. Uttarakhand, especially for food and the beauty. I mean, sometimes I say I can go back to Uttarakhand again just to eat madue ki roti, dubke ki dal, and bhang ke beej ki chutney. The food is so good.
आपके बीच की चटनी, how interesting.
Yeah, you need to go there for it. And sometimes like I'll talk about a group. So once we used to do a monsoon retreat to Himalayan village before COVID, and so it was a group where we had pretty much similar age group. And then highlight of the that trip was that starting to the ending, जब हम लोगों ने ट्रिप दिल्ली से स्टार्ट किया, जब तक हम दिल्ली वापस आए, फ्राइडे नाइट टू मंडे मॉर्निंग, हम लोग डमशराड्स खेलते रहे, लाइक अपार्ट फ्रॉम फॉलोइंग द आइटनरी. The group was so much bounded by Damsharad. So it might sound stupid to anybody who's listening, but then this was a personal experience. Like you're doing it professionally, but sometimes people are so good that you don't feel like you are their organizer. And another thing which happened, which is very close to my heart. So, after COVID, we opened up and we did our first group tour in December 2020, which was New Year's time. So that was led by one of my group leaders. And then after that, there was another trip to Chikmagalur. So that was led by me. And you won't believe, I was like so nervous. We had a house full, we had 18 people. And I was like really nervous. I was like, यार मैंने ये trip क्यों arrange कर दी? मैं पछता रही हूँ. Why did I have to do that? So I was nervous because that was the first ever professional trip starting from Bangalore. So like first ever professional South Indian trip. And then I was leading a trip after 1.5 years. So COVID say 4 5 mahine pehle I got married, so I couldn't lead a trip, and I was like so worried, so worried. Though I had done a recce trip to Chikmagalur, I had set up everything, but then it was like I was having goosebumps. And then there was we had participants from Bangalore. They were messaging me and wishing me best of luck, and it's like I'm really scared, and they're like, no, don't be, you're a good group leader. So, but when the trip started, I mean, first of all, the good thing is that everything happened on time. We had 10 pickup stops and everybody we picked up on time. So after a few hours, we see you, the group is so nice. They understand things. They are good travelers. They are following the schedule. And I felt that sense, oh my God, मैं फालतू में टेंशन ले रही थी. And it was a 4 days trip. 4 दिन के बाद everybody bonded so well, so well that we keep chatting, we keep meeting. So, I mean, I can, keep going on talking about experiences like this. So all these things have made it very special.
Wow, that sounds so beautiful, honestly. Like I can't wait to join you on one of our trips, and I'm sure the other audience members are also feeling similarly right now. That sounds so beautiful. Chani, also like out of personal interest, I saw on your website like that you also run some women only tours. So I wanted
Mm-hmm.
to ask you a bit about that. Like how did you, like, why did you feel the need to do that, and also how has the
Okay.
response been?
Okay. So, I always heard people organizing women only trips, people asking me, do a women only trip. And before I did a women only trip, I always thought that people prefer women only trips because they're perceived to be safe. तो मैं हमेशा बोलती थी यार, the way I run my company, हमारे सारे trips safe होते हैं. So you don't need to look out for women only trips. You can join the any trip you want. And then a couple of years ago, I think 4 years ago, I was invited to a women only conference. So, as a speaker, and after sharing my experience, it was a women only event, and there were, I think, more than 250 women participants. So, after I finished my talk, there were so many people, so many women who came to me, and they were like, Chandni, why don't you organize women only trips? So it was like an entire day spent in the company of women, listening to women speakers and talking to each other, learning about each other's travel experiences and professional experiences. So by the end of the day, I mean, I had a feeling, I think so many people are asking about women only trips. So probably I can the takeaway which I got from this conference, that conference was that it was a day spent with like-minded women. It was not about safety, it was about sharing same emotions. It was about a sisterhood, about feeling that warmth which you can feel around the people with whom you can connect. So I think that day, after having my conversations with so many women entrepreneurs and so many prospective participants, I realized that I think women only trips are not just about safety. They're also about, having unfiltered conversations. For example, if you're sitting in a group of 20 people, women, you can just say anything. But when you're in a mixed group, I mean, definitely you need to think sometimes. So then I thought, okay, I mean, सब लोग इतना बोल रहे हैं, and now I'm also feeling good about it. We'll organize a women only trip. So in 2018, during International Women's Day, we organized a women only trip. And again, that made me sure that women only trips, they are not just about safety, but about some sort of mental, emotional well-being. आप कोई भी बात कर सकते हो, because a women can definitely relate to the challenges of a women. And after that trip, I announced, okay, we'll try to increase the frequency of women only trips. So women only trips are always about a sisterhood, about sharing same emotions, sharing same feelings, and that, like I said, that warmth which you can feel when you're around women.
That's so interesting because honestly, before I asked the question in my head, also like you said, I would have assumed it's mostly about safety. This
Mm-hmm.
other perspective, जो तुमने share किया about like sisterhood about bonding, I think that's not something that I would have thought of, and that's so
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
From my perspective, it is. But sometimes when I talk to my participants, I also come across women who say, "यार हमें women only trip पे नहीं आना." We love the diverse experience. We want to join the mixed trips only. So that's also a very common thing. And from the perspective of some participants who say कि हम लोग women only trip इसलिए prefer करते हैं because it's easier for us to join. हमें घर पे कुछ explain नहीं करना पड़ता. We get permission from our parents and family very easily. So that's the perspective of people. But from my perspective, I saw the beauty of the community in women only trips.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. And how, and if I may ask, like how has the response been so far? Is like what has the feedback been also on these
It's
trips?
been really good, actually. Really good. Sometimes, I mean, you're talking about the women only trips response, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get so whatever women only trip we have organized, except once or twice, every trip has been fully sold out. The latest women only trip that we did was to Chettinad. It's in Tamil Nadu, a very offbeat region. And we were 21 participants, and I led that group. And you won't believe I had 5 or 6 people on waiting until end. And I
What?
keep
During
getting,
COVID? This was after COVID. Like this
yeah,
was now, right? Recently, like.
yeah, it was in February only. And then there were many people on waiting. And then I get a query. I mean, article definitely they are less because of the increasing COVID cases, but definitely whenever we are active, whenever we are announcing any kind of trips, so I get 1 or 2 queries every day asking just to organize a women only trip to this place and that place. So I mean, women really love women only trips.
Wow. So that it seriously seems like you've identified like a gap clearly. Uh,
It is. There are quite a few companies who organize women only trips, but most of the women only trips in this space are pretty, like many people say ki, most of the trips which we see they are pretty unaffordable. So we also try to, like, our funda is we keep our trips reasonable, not very expensive, not dirt cheap. So they are reasonable. And so but many people join in. So the response has been pretty good.
wow. That's very interesting. And talking about specific audiences, there is a question from Ishani, and she wants
Okay.
to know that have you had seniors traveling with you, and how can we make more older people explore the amazing places that younger people do?
Okay, that's actually a very good question. So first of all, whenever I talk to a prospective customer and they ask me what's the age limit, I always say there is no age limit from our side. If you feel comfortable with the itinerary, you can join in. Because the highest customer that we ever had on board is 75, and she traveled to Bundi with us. It was an overnight journey, 2 nights traveling and 2 nights stay. And we usually get, we even had a person aged 67 who joined our road trip to Ladakh. So my funda is that I can't judge your fitness, because sometimes somebody even at the age of 35 can't be fit, but a 60-year-old person can be more fit. And we had experience, like there are many people above 60 who join our trips, and they're always ahead of the people younger than them. But now, if I answer this question specifically, because the fitness of everybody differs, then it depends. For example, sometimes there are companies who organize special senior trips only, and sometimes there are companies who are organizing their trips in an all-inclusive manner. For example, when I ask people who are senior and I ask them that why do you come with us? Why don't you join with those companies who are offering exclusively senior experiences? Because they say that social experience is also a thing, and we love the diversity. We also love to interact with people from different backgrounds and different age groups. And then, another thing in mind is that I have been thinking for a very long time to organize a mother daughter trip, so that daughters can bring their moms on a trip.
Exactly.
And then these are the trips which can be modified or they can be curated in a way. For example, if I have to organize a senior specific trip, then I won't keep a long road journey, and I'll keep the places of stay extremely comfortable and very less journey. For example, there are some destinations depending on where I'm staying. For example, if you're staying in Delhi, then, if we talk about winter season, then Bharatpur makes a very good destination to travel with senior parents, because it's just a 4 hours drive from Delhi. Alwar makes a really good destination. Ajmer makes a really good destination. And if we are staying in Bangalore, then near Bangalore there are many places which comes in the radius of 5-6 hours driving distance. So they make up a really good destination for seniors. We even had many seniors joining our, like Ladakh is one of the toughest terrains that we do, Ladakh and Spiti. And we have had people in the past, and by the end of the trip, not just me, every other participant says them you're inspirational. So it varies from person to person, and it varies from trip to trip. But if curated, depending the people in mind, you can easily take seniors to the most beautiful places in India. You just have to, arrange it in that manner.
That sounds, uh, that makes a lot of sense. And I also love your idea of mother and daughter trips, also. Like, that sounds really special. And if anyone else has any questions for Chanti,
Yeah, I have a question. Thank you,
I
Chandni, for
great.
your stories and interesting stuff. My question is, like, I'm planning to conduct retreats for authors. Okay, I'm writing book. I've learned, like, I've had a lot of learnings in the author journey. So I want to kind of spread that knowledge in the authors retreat that I'm planning to conduct. But now I have a question. I haven't done any traveling workshops or anything in the past. This will be very new thing. So I'm really confused about how to keep the costing. And first event will be very challenging because whether we should keep it very low price or we should also look into a break even part, those things. So I hope I kind of give you what I'm really looking for, and like how to keep the charges for the retreats, considering our service charges and also the place charges also.
Okay. So if I understood you correctly, you mentioned that you want to organize a retreat for corporate.
Retreat for the authors, like assume there are a lot of people who want to write their first book. So I'm planning to conduct a retreat for first time authors who haven't written book but they want to
Okay,
write book.
a
So
writing retreat you want to organize.
yeah,
Okay.
there,
And okay,
there
let me
is.
just ask you a few questions. How many people you are planning to take in?
In like I'd be very happy with 5 to 10, five. Like minimum five is what for the first event. I'll be very happy with five. So max it
Hmm.
can go to like
And
in future we can go.
you want to keep it as a for-profit venture, or you want to just keep it as a cost sharing, no profit, no loss thing?
Actually, it's a for-profit venture kind of thing. So definitely,
Okay.
we are looking at both
Okay.
profit.
See, it will be definitely, when it comes to pricing, it's a very tough question because sometimes you'll see in the market the same product is sold with a huge price variation. So I'll just give you a few tips, but I won't give you any figure or any percentage about the price. So most of the writing retreats that I have seen, I mean, I'll call it a specialized retreat because it has a theme. So I don't think so. It will come very inexpensive because when you're talking about a writing retreat, the most of the people they'll be confined to the place of stay only. So for that, mostly depending wherever you're doing it at a beachside location, you're doing it in the Himalayas, your location, your place of stay has to be very pretty because that's how your creative juices will flow. And such kind of places doesn't come at less cost when you're looking for a good place. And then you'll also have to ensure the availability of internet over there just because you're taking some authors there. And if I don't know, it will be like learning from each other's experience kind of retreat, or you will be having a mentor. So when you're having a mentor, are you planning to have a mentor?
No, no, no. It's not about mentor. It's about learning from their own
Learning
self.
from each other, learning
Yeah,
from each other. I
one is
got
each
it.
other, and they can also learn from themselves. It is like giving
Got it.
opportunity for them to write their
Yeah,
book.
yeah.
That's
Got it. Got it. So I think it will definitely come in the mid luxury segment
yeah.
or luxury segment, but it definitely won't be budget because if it's a writing retreat, because your place has to be scenic. I'll assume like if somebody asks you what my ideal writing retreat would be, then it would be a very nice, pretty cottage in the middle of the Himalayas, where I can hear the birds, I can see good views, and don't struggle a lot with internet. So pricing definitely make sure that you are able to cover up your costs and make sure that you are giving all the information beforehand that what to expect and what should be the part of the package. Even tell that how many people in one room and how many meals are you going to offer if you're going to explore any nearby areas and all that. And then cost will entirely be your choice that how much profit you want to keep. But another thing, do keep in mind that if you're planning to keep 5 people but only 2 people are able to join. So you will have to be very clear that, if 2 people come up, this will be the price, or the retreat will be confirmed only if all 5 people are joining. So you can just play around with figures. For example, at Transforming Travels, we do our group tours with an average size of 16. In South India, we are trying to increase our group size because of logistical challenges. In North India, we always take a maximum group size of 16. And we always tell people the group will be confirmed only if we have minimum 5 participants. So that way, when people are paying money, they won't be disappointed later if it gets cancelled because we are giving them a transparent situation.
About first time, like any ideas that like we are when we organize for the first time, like it'll be very
Hmm.
challenging, right? Get new people, as you were also talking about. So you were like when you were doing for the first time, a lot of people were asking questions and all this stuff. So this is again a specialized event. I have just written my first book. I'm about to finish my first book. So any
Okay.
suggestion? Like it's a very tricky situation, right? Like so any suggestion from your side?
You mean the suggestions in handling, in dealing with the people's questions?
Yeah, handling people's question and
Yeah,
also in the
got it.
promotion wise, what would be
See,
the
that's the toughest part and the most important part. But I have always followed one thing that, whenever you have a telephonic conversation with any prospective customer, be honest. Give them a clear situation. That's the key, because the idea is to earn their trust, and you can earn their trust well if you're honest with them. So that thing will go a long way.
thank you. I think that's a very very valid point.
Yeah, I mean, that will be very very helpful to you. I'm like, whenever people ask me questions, for example, in COVID times, a lot of people ask me that, what kind of safety procedures you are following or not. So I told them, we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this and that. Then people ask me, okay, social distancing and this. So I told them very clearly, देखो जब आप ग्रुप टूर ज्वाइन कर रहे हो तो आप एक लेवल तक सोशल डिस्टेंसिंग एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं, उससे ज्यादा नहीं। बिकॉज ग्रुप टूर्स आर अबाउट सोशल एक्सपीरियंसेस। आप रात में बॉनफायर पे भी साथ बैठोगे, ट्रैकिंग अगर आप कर रहे हो तो समटाइम्स यू माइट रिक्वायर सम सॉर्ट ऑफ हैंड होल्डिंग। तो you'll have to take a leap of faith, you'll have to wear your mask, you'll have to sanitize your hands every now and then, but don't expect a lot of social distancing. So come only if your heart feels for it। अगर आपको ट्रस्ट होता है, if you can take that leap of faith, you come। and instead of giving them false assurances, nahi 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 hoga and this and that, and give them facts, like always told people ki we have done these many trips after COVID, and thankfully we never had a case after doing our trips। matlab just say, for example, the group went home and after 15 days you know if somebody is suffering from the COVID or not, so we tell them very honestly। So be honest and give them facts, and this will go a long way, and just be yourself, because when you're starting out, you don't have a brand name, it's just you, so people will
Yeah,
come for you, they'll come for what you are giving them, and all the best.
thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Raj.
Chandni. That was, I'm sure, very helpful. And thank you, Udresh, for your question. If it's okay with you, Chandni, I'm going to request someone from the Yatri Story team to share your email ID in the chat box in case
Sure, sure,
Udresh or or someone else has a follow-up question for you, then they can connect with you after the call.
sure,
And
sure.
meanwhile, we have two more audience questions for you. So the first one is from Ashish. So Ashish's question for you is: was it a challenge to make your family understand what you are doing? Uh, how
Yeah.
did how did you make them, how did they agree to it easily? And if yes, then how did you make them understand?
Okay, that's actually a very good and a very tough question. So, when I told my family that I'm starting a travel company, when I told my mom I'm starting a travel company, and she said, wow, that will really suit you. And I was like, wow, I was very happy. And a week later, I realized when I told her that I'm starting a travel company, what she understood is that I'm going to sit in an office like a conventional tour operator, and I'm going to offer ready made packages to people. So that's what she understood. When I told her that I'm going to explore a village, I'm going in Uttarakhand for a week, and I'm going to explore a village, I'm going to live in local communities, then she's like, ये क्या है? She got really panicked. काफी ज्यादा डर गई थी मेरी फैमिली। एंड देन लाइक, मैंने आपको बताया तो था कि मैं ट्रैवल कंपनी स्टार्ट कर रही हूँ। तो उनको लगा, अच्छा, हमें नहीं लगा था कि घूमने फिरने वाला काम होगा, हमें लगा था कि वो ऑफिस में बैठ के हनीमून पैकेजेस बनाए जाएंगे। So then when I left for my first exploration trip to Uttarakhand, I had a huge fight at home, a huge fight. And I left anyway. In that fight, I forgot my jacket. So I was really freezing on the entire trip. And that was the first ever time in my life that my mom didn't talk to me for 3 days. कभी ऐसा नहीं हुआ था, because wherever I'm in the world, I mostly spoke to my mom every other day, except if I don't have a network or I'm sailing on ship. So then 3 days later, she called me up. And then again, that was like, okay, we'll talk to you. But it took me another 2.5 years to have them, like as supportive, as excited for my journey as I am. So 2.5 years later, the situation was okay. अच्छा ऐसा नहीं हो रहा, ये नहीं हो रहा. Then she'll give me her insights कि ये सब तो होता रहता है, इन सब की क्यों टेंशन लेनी है? You should try this and try that. So, but it was I mean, मैंने काफी ब्रीफ में बताया है, but it was a very tough thing for me to be able to bring my family on board for this.
That I think it's just a very new profession, right? Like at least like relatively newer profession. So I think it's just that
Hmm.
a lot of people from the previous
Because
generation don't know about it as much as I think lack of awareness also
true,
more
true,
than
true.
anything else.
I'll call it lack of awareness. See, I come from Kurukshetra. अगर वहाँ पे आप किसी travel agent से, they'll call me travel agent Kurukshetra में. If you meet a travel agent, what you'll see कि वो किसी बड़ी company से packages लेके and they are just selling it. ठीक है, you won't find somebody who's going out and who's exploring. And now, if you find a girl of my age in my hometown, most of them, they are having a corporate job. If they're working, they're having a corporate job. तो मेरा तो वो था like it came as a shock. Like I told you ना कि जब मैं कॉलेज में थी, मेरे पहले 3 साल तक my father used to pick me up from Noida to Kurukshetra मुझे घर लेके जाने के लिए. And then like she'll be exploring alone. तो उसमें काफी सारे fears आते हैं. First of all, exploring alone. Second, going to places जिनका पता ही नहीं है, क्योंकि मैं तो एक्सप्लोर करने जा रही हूँ, मुझे तो डेस्टिनेशन सेट करने हैं, तो मैं आपको क्या बताऊं कि मैं कहाँ जा रही हूँ, किन के साथ जा रही हूँ. जनरली वो होता है ना, when you're in a very protective environment, कि आप जहाँ पे जा रहे हो उन सबके फोन नंबर्स आप देके जाओ. तो इनफैक्ट 2-3 साल पहले तक भी whenever I lead a trip, my mom will ask me कि कहाँ फोन नंबर देके जाना. तो मैं बोलती थी जो लोग मेरे साथ जा रहे हैं ना, वो मेरा फोन नंबर अपने घर पे दे. And see, there are another 15 people who are trusting me, whose parents are trusting me, और आप मेरे पे डाउट कर रहे हो that I'll be safe or not. And now sometimes I ask my mom, she's like, now I'm used to, now I'm not worried about you. So it's
Wow,
been a long story, yeah.
sounds like a long but fruitful journey. So
Yeah.
it's fantastic. And the second audience question was from Yuvika. Yuvika,
Okay.
do you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Thank you. So, Chandni, I had a question since a long time.
Yeah.
So I was in San Francisco and there is a jail there, एक island sort of land पे वहाँ पे एक jail है.
Yes,
And
yes,
तो
yeah.
उसी के ऊपर
Alcatraz.
हाँ, right. So
Yeah.
it has this audio tour जो uh, एक रूम से पूरा कवर करते हैं वो जेल को. And I think that lasts for 25 minutes. And
Okay.
I thought कि it will be another audio tour. I still took it. मतलब if not that, तो कोई और तरीका नहीं है वहाँ पे. There are not tour guides to take you through and share the story. So either you take that or don't. Just like roam around and leave. Take the ferry and leave. But
Uh-huh.
that whole experience of audio tour was so immersive. It actually felt like, my body was experiencing goosebumps, and I was actually, वो sounds इतने amazing थे कि मुझे ऐसा लग रहा था कि I'm actually at that time और ये सब हो रहा है आसपास, गोलियां चल रही हैं ये वो, although थोड़ा सा traumatizing भी था, actually थोड़ा
No,
ज्यादा.
no, what you're saying, I can feel it. So tell me, yeah.
So उसके बाद I thought, how about, so the point being, my conclusion from that experience was that an audio can make the experience of a monument or a, इस तरह की जगह का experience बहुत बढ़ जाता है. So that how about we create such audio tours? Of course we do have India में भी कुछ जगह, काफी जगह in fact, but then इतने ज्यादा immersive, इतनी high quality and बहुत अच्छे वो थे, audios थे. And then I started थोड़ा सा ही मैंने इसमें एक्सप्लोर करना शुरू किया था, but then I was bombarded with this opinion कि ये सारी जगह ना आर क्या कहते हैं taken care by the government and कुछ सही सिस्टम नहीं है, सब बहुत हाफिजड है, this won't work. दूसरे जैसे ही लॉन्च करोगे दूसरे दिन वो ऑडियो कॉपी हो जाएगी और आपके 1/10 प्राइस पे वहां और जो खड़े होते हैं टूर गाइड वो बेचेंगे इस तरह से. तो बेसिकली बिल्कुल सिस्टमैटिक नहीं है, ये मुझे ओपिनियन मिले. सो आई जस्ट वांटेड योर ओपिनियन ऑन इट, if you are aware about this, so if you can share your opinion on this.
See, what you have said is actually, I mean, I'm not saying about the opinions, first just coming to the idea. So this is very true. Like if I give my traveler's experience, that sometimes there are monuments जहाँ पे आपको अच्छे guides भी मिलते हैं, जहाँ पे आपको अच्छे what do I say, audio tours भी मिलते हैं at some ASI monuments, but definitely आपको ये हर ASI monument में या फिर हर UNESCO World Heritage monument पे आपको audio tour नहीं मिलता. एंड सो लेट्स जस्ट कीप ऑडियो टूर फॉर अ साइड, क्योंकि वो इंडिया में हर मॉन्यूमेंट पे है नहीं. अगर आपके पास ऑडियो टूर नहीं है तो दूसरा ऑप्शन आपके पास है गाइड. अब कुछ जगह पे आपको गाइड मिलता है, कुछ जगह पे आपको गाइड नहीं मिलता. जहाँ पे आपको गाइड मिलता है समटाइम्स यू फील लाइक यार हमें इतनी नॉलेज नहीं चाहिए, बिकॉज समटाइम्स गाइड्स रियली गो इन डिटेल. वो एक एक चीज इतना ज्यादा एक्सप्लेन करने लगते हैं दैट यू आर नॉट एबल टू प्रोसेस द इंफॉर्मेशन आफ्टर अ व्हाइल. So that's a pain point. And then there are many places. For example, when you talk about Chikmagalur, when you talk about a place like Yerkad, and when you talk about some of the remote Himalayan villages, वहाँ पे कोई guides नहीं मिलते आपको. So when I organize trips professionally, मेरा ground level network है, so I am able to arrange guides for my trip. जो लोग होते हैं with people with local expertise, but वहाँ पे there are no government approved guides. So what you have said, Yuvika, it definitely makes a really good business idea. एंड बिकॉज नॉट जस्ट अबाउट ASI, काफी सारी नेचुरल जगह भी होती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल आप जैसे तीर्थन वैली की बात करो, तीर्थन वैली में आप जिभी जाते हो, जिभी से आप जलोरी पास जाते हो, जलोरी पास से आपको धौलाधार माउंटेन रेंज दिखता है. ठीक है, वहां पे डिफरेंट डिफरेंट पीक्स दिखते हैं. इफ यू हैव अ गुड ऑडियो गाइड, यू कैन ट्यून इन एंड आप सुन सकते हो कि अच्छा जो आपको दिख रहा है कि वो ये वाला पीक है, ये वाला पीक है. सो दैट प्लेस वे आर रिलेटेड टू ASI. So there are so many natural wonders. There are so many cultural places जहाँ पे आप audio tours बना सकते हो. And now coming to the ASI as well, see copying, content piracy and all that. That is a very common pain point. हमारे itineraries के साथ भी होता है. आज मैंने एक itinerary website पे डाली, and it's very usual. वो copy हो जाती है and you can't do anything about it. Because you don't know how to protect your content. And then there is another thing, अगर आप इतनी ज़्यादा legalities में घुसोगे, you can't even work. So I'll say more or less you will just have to evaluate, forget कि वो कल copy हो जाएगा, because content copy करना इतना आसान नहीं है, because the kind of expertise which you bring is not that easy. But the challenge which I see, challenge होगा content curation. Because आप जहाँ का भी content बनाओगे, everything is so vast. हर चीज एक दूसरे से इतना दूर लोकेटेड है, so you'll have to travel a lot and you will need multiple people with local expertise on board. For example, अगर आप खजुराहो का content बना रहे हो, चिकमंगलूर का content बना रहे हो, या आप one person can't be a local expert at every place, so you'll have to bring local people with local expertise. And उनको भी नहीं पता कि एक किसी को बताना एक अलग चीज होती है, but helping in content curation is very challenging. So what I see is it's a very untapped thing. It will definitely make for a very good business idea. The real challenge will come in making the content. So I don't know, content piracy वाला issue तो बहुत बाद में आता है. And probably you can collaborate with different people at different levels, जहाँ पे for example कोई government approved guide के साथ आपने collaborate कर लिया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल जैसे उसको कोई मिलता है कस्टमर, वो बोले मेरे 2000 रुपीज पर डे, एंड देन द कस्टमर सेज कि नहीं 2000 रुपीज तो हम नहीं देंगे, तो गाइड बोलेगा फिर आप एक काम करो, आप ये वाली ऐप खोलो, आप मेरा रेफरेंस कोड डालो, आपका यहाँ से 1000 रुपीज में हो जाएगा. सो दैट ऑल्सो, आई मीन देर आर ऑलवेज वेज टू कोलेबोरेट एंड मार्केट.
Okay,
But what I see is the challenge in content curation. That will be really challenging.
I agree. With every monument you have to start from scratch, a new
Yeah.
team altogether, सब कुछ एकदम scratch से होगा.
Definitely. And then you'll have to ensure your content is best. जैसे आज मैंने last year lockdown में काम करना शुरू किया था. I began to make vlogs, and it's easy to it's easy to compile a video when you are not telling lot of history. But when it comes to a historical place, I'm like ऐसे दिमाग घूम जाता है कि आप उसमें क्या डालो क्या नहीं डालो. So I was like, okay, I'll just tell a few facts. बिकॉज मुझे इंसाइक्लोपीडिया नहीं देना है, बट जब आप कंटेंट क्यूरेट करोगे आपको, एंड एट द सेम टाइम you'll have to make interesting as well, because the common challenges which I faced with audio tours is after a while they become very boring. तो उसको इंटरेस्टिंग भी रखना पड़ेगा, उसमें सारी इंफॉर्मेशन भी देनी पड़ेगी, एक जगह का एक एक मॉन्यूमेंट का करने में ही काफी टाइम लगेगा.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and when you talk about a destination, there are like many places we just visit who are on the top of the list. But as a content curator, you'll have to ensure कि आपको हर जगह का हर व्यू पॉइंट का, and then in fact make sure कि जो अच्छे food joints हैं, क्योंकि you know there are some places, some food joints with great history. So you'll just have, they'll make your content unique. So the major challenge is the content curation.
True, true, true.
Yeah,
Thank you.
most welcome.
May I ask Sanskriti?
Yes, of course, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Chandni. I'll be this side.
Hi.
So, Chandni, actually, my question was more related to the business model per se. That is because I have a lot of my friends who are working in this domain, and I am also very passionate about it. Though I'm entrepreneur, not in this domain right now. But so lots of people are creating this specialized tour on particular, niche areas and very particular areas. But in the long run, I want to know how you are thinking and to turn up into as in a bigger organization, your company, and making it as a systematic business properly, where the functions can be more automatic made. So how you are thinking in that way in the long run?
See, if you're talking about finances, then long time ago I decided that I'm not going to look for funding. I'm going to bootstrap. Because I have been a fan of bootstrapping. So we have been bootstrapping for 5-6 years. And since last 4 years, it's been good, minus the COVID time. In fact, in the small window that we got December, January, February, and March, so we did some trips at that time, and it was pretty good. So now that's actually what you said. It's, I see it not as a question, but as a point of discussion.
Yeah.
That I would like to enjoy. I would like to discuss it with fellow people like me, the starting entrepreneurs in the industry. But what I plan is, I first of all, you'll have to decide your priorities. That's the one thing, because what I have realized is, agar aap bootstrap kar rahe ho, you can't do everything. So my priority is just to do domestic for a couple of years. So I definitely have some destinations in mind that I want to explore. So I want Transforming Travels to be able to explore every Indian destination, be it a mainstream or be it offbeat. Definitely, not the kind of destinations which people have come and they feel like, why we have come on a vacation here, because they're already very crowded. For example, when you talk about Shimla and Mussoorie in the month of June and May and June. But the plan is, my priority is set that we'll do it domestic for another couple of years and increase the team slowly, not exponentially, slowly, and keep on adding more and more destinations. And definitely then the another challenge that becomes marketing. So you'll have to make your online and offline presence strong and strong. And then another thing is, just make sure whosoever person is taking your service, whosoever person is joining your trips, they go back home as a very happy customer. That's the one thing which is very crucial in making it big. And like I said, that it will be enjoyed rather as a discussion than a question, because I might have a definite answer to this after a few years, or after the COVID is,
So if you have any time experience that if you are not on the trip, someone else, your associate, is on the trip, right? Because let's say you haven't gone. So then you get the same kind of feedback, or do you think that it is going to work on the same way? Because, doing things alone by self and getting things done by employee or someone associate is a different thing. So
yeah, so that's a good question. So I won't say that I am perfect as a group leader, because there have been times when I have found my shortcomings when I joined with my fellow group leaders. So in our company, there is nothing like I am the founder and you are just a group leader. So when we travel together, मैं अपने group leader को बोलती हूँ, like there are times when my group leader is leading a trip, I'm like, okay, I'll just join as a guest. So, but then again, when you're a founder, वो leadership आ ही जाती है. तो by the end, मैं अपने group leader को बोलती हूँ कि अगर तुम्हें मेरे लिए कोई feedback है, which you see people don't like it, or which you see I should do better, you give it to me. And then after customers feedback, so generally, thankfully, no customer has given a very bad feedback of any of my group leaders, because whatever group leaders we have, they all, I have known them for years. So I don't just pick up anybody and make a group leader. I'm very picky about it. हमारे जो भी group leaders होते हैं, I share a long-term personal relationship with them, and then there are few set filters. After that, only they are group leaders. So thankfully, sometimes I feel thrilled when people give such good feedback, and then definitely then I'll tell them कि negatives भी बताओ, negatives they always will be, and then we share that feedback with the group leaders. And sometimes as a founder only, मतलब अगर कभी ऐसा होता भी है कि some group leader is not up to the mark, तो feedback आने से पहले भी बहुत बार आप समझ जाते हो experience से, then definitely you can't use them for future trips. But
Because
again, this is very closely related to the scaling up. So I think you must be thinking कि अगर आप एज अ
yeah,
फाउंडर कितना हैंडल करोगे, फिर आपको स्केल अप करने के लिए क्वालिटी से कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना पड़ेगा या नहीं करना पड़ेगा. तो
so in
या
that way, actually, when I'm thinking, I'm planning for myself or anyone. So I'm planning in that way, that if I'm turning up into the bigger organization, would it be how much, the quality I would be able to maintain? Because hiring an employee and hiring a group leader is different thing. Group
या
leader has to be very that much passionate for that thing which I am, or which someone like you, right? And you, because otherwise, if you will working, or any group leader will be working as in just a company person or as an employee, so it will not be justice for the with the people, I think.
So what do you do, if I may ask?
So currently actually I'm working with a company as a manager, and also I'm having my own business where I'm dealing with brands and doing their marketing stuff. So
Okay.
otherwise, in the long run, actually, I was thinking, so from your experiences, I wanted to learn that this field I should choose, or what in that field I want to choose.
So my another question to you was, so what you are doing along with your job, you are single-handedly running your company, right?
No. So I have
Uh-huh.
partners, obviously I have associates, which I am making them empowered to do whatever I'm doing. So in the
Okay.
long run, I am taking myself to do other stuffs also. So that is why
Okay.
I'm going in that way. And then the same
Okay.
way I'm thinking to run this in future, right? So
Okay.
so that is, matlab, obviously if I will start something, I don't see
Mm-hmm.
myself doing it for the entire life. I can't be there. That is what my thought was,
Yeah, yeah, true, true. So
right?
I think it's again, this is the thing. See, even I'm most of the panelists, like most of us here, we are in that. We what do I say? I won't say a very grown up stage. I won't even say a very starting stage, but somewhere in the middle. Like
Hmm.
आपको जो start करना था वो start कर चुके, but now you're struggling with scaling up.
Yeah.
So I think this is the thing which we can more learn from each other's experience, not just like a panel discussion kind of experience, but
Yeah.
meeting, talking to the people जिन्होंने ऐसा किया है, and see what's working for them, what's not working for them.
Yeah.
So
So I
I
was just
think
getting your thought and your experience on your
yeah,
experience basis. That's it. Yeah. So
yeah,
I
it's
understand.
challenging. It's
Yeah.
challenging, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for your feedback. Yeah.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Perfect. Thank you so much for your question, Arpit. This kind of brings us to the end of at least a structured conversation with Chandni. Thank you again, everyone, for taking out the time to be here today. Chandni's contact details have been shared in the chat in case you have any additional questions for her. I wanted to thank Chandni again. I know it's been so hard for you the last few days. Thank you so much for
That's okay.
taking time out and for joining us today and for sharing your wonderful story, and also for taking the time to ask such detailed and personal questions for the audience members. I'm sure it was tremendously helpful for everyone. So thank you so much for doing that. And I want to thank the Yatri Story team again for all of their efforts in putting this together. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining. So the structured conversation comes to an end here. But in case anyone wants to hang around and talk about any travel stories, then feel free to do that. But also feel free to drop off at this point if you'd like to. Thanks again
I'll
for
also say thanks, Samskriti. You were a wonderful moderator. And thank you so much for the Yatri team and audience, definitely.
That's super kind of you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Chandni, for your time. Yeah.
You're
Especially
welcome.
the audience members also, you're right. Thanks everybody for joining.